welcome back to the channel. Big developments are coming out of Washington this week, and they could have serious implications for civil liberties, public safety, and the relationship between the federal government and the states. Let's break it down. Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed on national television this weekend that the Trump administration is seriously considering invoking the Insurrection Act, a rarely used 19th century law that allows the president to deploy the U.S. military on American soil during times of rebellion or civil unrest. When asked on NBC's Meet the Press whether this drastic measure was truly on the table, Vance said, quote, "The president's looking at all of his options," quote, and argued that the discussion is happening because, in his words, crime has gotten out of control in our cities. Now, let's be clear. Deploying the U.S. military within the country is not a routine move. Under normal circumstances, federal troops are not allowed to engage in domestic law enforcement. But the Insurrection Act, which dates back to 1807, creates a legal exception in cases where law enforcement can no longer maintain order. The last time this law was used was during the 1992 Los Angeles riots, when President George H.W. Bush sent troops in at the request of California's governor. So why is this coming up again now? According to the Trump administration, it's about urban crime, specifically in Democratic-led cities like Chicago. But recent attempts to send federalized National Guard troops into these cities have hit a wall in federal court. Just last week, a judge in Chicago blocked the deployment, saying there was no credible evidence of a rebellion or threat that would justify such action. She also warned the administration that sending in troops without state approval crosses a constitutional line. Despite that ruling, Vance said the administration is still reviewing its legal options, and the Insurrection Act is part of that discussion. He went on to describe certain neighborhoods in Chicago as dangerous, saying people are afraid to walk their kids to school due to gun violence and gang activity. On ABC News, he even claimed the city has a murder rate that rivals the worst places in the third world. But here's the reality. Violent crime has actually been falling across many major American cities, including Chicago, for the past 2 years. And Chicago isn't even in the top 4 U.S. cities with the highest murder rates. In fact, those cities are located in states governed by Republicans. The story doesn't stop with crime and troop deployments. Vance's comments sparked a political firestorm. He was also asked whether Democratic Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker could be criminally prosecuted, just like several other of Trump's political opponents who've recently faced legal action, including former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. At first, Vance dodged the question, but when pressed, he said Pritzker should suffer consequences, and added that violating an oath of office seems pretty criminal to him. Governor Pritzker didn't hold back in his response. He accused Vance of spreading lies and using intimidation tactics. He also made it clear he's not afraid, saying, "Come and get me. You're dead wrong, Mr. President and Mr. Vice President, and I will stand up for the law and the Constitution." And all of this is happening while the federal government shutdown has now entered its 12th day. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson is blaming Democrats for the standoff, claiming they're using it as a political tool to appear tough on Trump. On the other side, Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries is calling for bipartisan talks, saying Democrats are ready to work with anyone to reopen the government and focus on real issues like healthcare and the economy. So what's your take? Should the Insurrection Act be used in today's America? Is the federal government overreaching, or are these necessary steps for public safety? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.